Greetings, gem lovers! Today, we will continue our journey into the world of emerald tiaras that you have been waiting for. Emeralds are a symbol of aristocracy, their rich green color instantly attracts attention. The royal treasure troves of Europe hold tiaras with these stones, astonishing in their beauty, history, and the quality of the stones. But let's waste no time and plunge straight into the world of glitter and luxury. Let's start with the emerald tiara of Princess Katharina Henkel von Donnersmarck, a Russian aristocrat and wife of a German nobleman. When this tiara appeared at a Sotheby's auction in 2011, it was hailed as one of the most significant jewels they had worked with in the last 30 years. It was a true masterpiece that they had held in their hands since the last auction. This emerald tiara ended up being the most expensive tiara ever sold. The tiara was commissioned by Guido Henkel von Donnersmarck, a German businessman and nobleman, for his second wife, the Russian aristocrat and beauty Katerina Vasilyevna Sleptsova. Guido was perhaps the richest man in Germany and one of the 5 richest men in Europe at the time. His collection of family jewelry was simply impressive. The base of the tiara, set with 11 large yellow-tinted cushion-shaped diamonds, is surrounded by roses and brilliant-cut diamonds. Between the cushion diamonds are lily-of-the-valley motifs, a line of laurel leaves below, and garlands above. The base of the diamond-set tiara is already a work of art, but the real stars are the 11 pear-shaped emeralds, which together make up about 500 carats. Originating from Colombia, these stones are perfectly matched and deep in color. Interestingly, these emeralds are drilled through, a technique that may seem unusual to those used to more modern setting methods. However, it speaks to the long and illustrious history of these emeralds. Both the shape and the drilling method are characteristic of stones made in India in the 17th century, and they were probably part of the collection of a Maharaja or other dignitary. These emeralds then traveled to France in the 18th century. When the tiara was first sold at a Sotheby's auction in 1979, it was noted that, according to family tradition, these emeralds belonged to the French crown jewels. Guido Henkel von Donnersmarck is known to have acquired the pearls from Empress Eugenie's collection for his first wife. The emeralds were inserted into the tiara around 1900. The authorship of the design is unknown, but it is in keeping with the quality of the work of the greatest French jewelry houses. It is likely that the tiara was made by Chaumet, as the Henkel von Donnersmarck family was a client of both Chaumet and Boucheron. In 1979 the tiara was sold at an auction in Zurich, and in May 2011 it reappeared at Sotheby's in Geneva, where it was sold from a private collection. The lot price exceeded expectations and realized $12,736,927, a record for Sotheby's. The tiara went back into a private collection, and for the new owner it was a very successful investment. Let's move on to the next jewel of our review, an emerald and diamond tiara presented by Prince Albert to his adored Queen Victoria. Victoria, being the monarch of the largest and most powerful empire of her time, had an impressive collection of jewelry. One such piece of jewelry is the emerald and diamond tiara that her husband, Prince Consort Albert, created for her. In 1845, the court jeweler Joseph Kitching brought to life the design of this unique piece of jewelry, which cost £1,150. Queen Victoria had complete confidence in her consort's taste when it came to her choice of jewelry. She was so impressed by this gift that she decided to wear it for a family portrait, which was commissioned from Franz Xavier Winterhalter in 1846. In this portrait, the Queen complimented the tiara with a set of emerald brooches and earrings. The tiara is in the neo-Gothic style that was popular in the 19th century. The centerpiece of the tiara is set with cushion-shaped diamonds and step-cut emeralds. The spikes on the tiara, alternating long and short, are set with emeralds and diamonds. Each long spike ends with a large cabochon-cut drop-shaped emerald. In public life, Queen Victoria often appeared in this tiara at state receptions and international meetings. This jewel is still a striking example of 19th-century jewelry art and a symbol of the greatness of the British monarchy. The exquisite emerald and diamond tiara and parure was a magnificent gift from Queen Victoria to her daughter, Princess Louise, Duchess of Argyll, in 1893. Later, this magnificent piece of jewelry came into the possession of the Queen's granddaughter, Princess Alexandra, then Duchess of Fife. Thus, the tiara remained in the family possession for many years. This unique piece of jewelry was last worn by the 3rd Duchess of Fife during the state opening of Parliament in 1960, embodying the grandeur and splendor of monarchical history. The tiara is currently on long-term loan and is on display in the Victoria Unveiled exhibition at Kensington Palace, celebrating the 200th anniversary of Queen Victoria's birth. Any visitor to the museum has the opportunity to admire this unique piece of jewelry art, whose name is Tiara of the Duchess Angoulême. She was the daughter of the famous French Queen Marie Antoinette. This is one of the few 19th-century jewelry pieces that has survived in pristine condition. The exquisite emerald tiara, commissioned by the Duke of Angoulême in 1819, was the pinnacle of the jewelry art of its time. The famous Balst brothers put all their craftsmanship into it, reflecting in every detail the jewelry traditions of the era. The tiara has an impressive symmetrical design inspired by natural motifs, with striking accents in the form of 40 exquisite emeralds set in gold settings. Over 1,000 diamonds sheltering the surface of the curls add to its luster and grandeur. This magnificent tiara was described by historian Bernard Morel in his book The Jewels of the French Crown. He said that 14 of the largest emeralds were originally in Napoleon's treasury, but for unknown reasons, they were left untouched. The Duchess of Angoulême was addicted to this tiara but never considered it her property, realizing that jewels belonging to the royal crown had been used to make it. Maria Theresa held the title of Queen of France, albeit briefly, before leaving the country with her husband, passing most of the jewels to her heiress. The next owner was Empress Eugenie, who adored emeralds and considered them her talismans. These stones perfectly emphasized her appearance and added to her mystique. Maria Theresa's tiara became her favorite adornment at official events and celebrations, where she shone with her irresistible beauty. After the fall of the empire, Eugenie and her husband fled the country, leaving the jewelry in France, in some ways repeating the fate of Maria Theresa. The tiara sat idle in the treasury for some time until it was presented at the Paris exhibition in 1878, after which it was moved to the Louvre, where it continued to delight visitors with its splendor. The French National Assembly decided to sell the emerald tiara, viewing it as not too valuable. This step caused a lot of controversy and outrage among the population, but despite the protests, the auction took place in the late spring of 1887, and the tiara was purchased by a private collector. Subsequently, the Wartski Jewelry Company became the next known owner of this precious jewel. According to the company's managing director, Geoffrey Mann, the employees did not realize the true value of this tiara, and regarded it simply as an excellent example of 19th-century jewelers' craftsmanship, nothing more. Shortly afterwards, the tiara's history was uncovered and it was on display at the Victoria and Albert Museum for a time. After 10 years, the owner decided to sell it. The museum tried to buy back the jewelry but was unable to raise enough funds. The Louvre took the initiative and expressed its willingness to pay any amount for this artifact that belonged to the kings of France. Thus, after more than 100 years, the emerald tiara returned to its historical homeland and was installed in a worthy place in the museum display case. Concluding our journey into the world of exquisite pieces of jewelry, I cannot but note that tiaras presented in our story leave an incredible impression. The emerald tiara, which has returned to the Louvre after a century's absence, delights with its historical significance and exquisite design. Its beauty is imbued with the power of time and the events surrounding its fate. On the other hand, the Rococo tiara, created by Bolin CE, impresses with its sophistication and refinement. Its lightness and airiness are eye-catching, while the use of emeralds and diamonds gives it a unique charm and luster. Both of these pieces represent the pinnacle of craftsmanship and creativity of the jewelry masters of their time, and each in its own way is worthy of admiration and attention. As for more information, I would love to hear more about other significant historical events related to jewelry, as well as technological innovations in the jewelry art. This is where I say goodbye and look forward to seeing you again.